All right, so let's look at amino acids here. These are the building blocks for proteins. These are the basic structural units of proteins. For carbohydrates, it's glucose, basically. Your monosaccharides, but let's just say for all intents and purposes, glucose. For lipids, we primarily talked about triglyceride, fatty acid chains, and the glycerol. For proteins, it is amino acids. Okay. And we have 20 different amino acids that help us to make up our various proteins, our various structures. Will you have to know every single one of those? No. You just need to know the ones that you have to get in your diet. Because if you're missing any one of those, you are malnutrient. If you are just missing one of those essential amino acids, that's all it takes to be labeled as malnutrient, which is really weird. But it's just that one. If you miss that one, then I can't make certain structures at the proper pace, and that's why. Here is a typical amino acid structure. Okay, carbon is the base for all of this stuff, okay, except for water and the minerals. The carbon atom is there for pretty much everything except for water and minerals. Okay, but there's our carbon. Here is our amino group. There's my nitrogen. Okay. Here's my acid. Here's my R group. This is called the R group or the side chain. It just depends on what class you're in. This book uses R group, I believe. The R group is important because it determines how the amino acid is going to function. Is it hydrophilic? Is it hydrophobic? Is it acidic? Is it alkaline? And all of the doodad functionality for an amino acid is based on that R group. Okay. Other versions of this textbook have really gone into that a little bit more in depth and broken it all down. In this version, they've kind of taken that away, but that's what that R group is. Okay, that R group determines how this thing's going to function inside the body, or how the body's going to treat it. Okay. So that is your typical amino acid structure. We've got my nitrogen and basically the carbon skeleton. Okay, I'll just do this. Okay, I've got my amino group and then the carbon skeleton. Okay, spoiler, I got to get rid of this thing. Okay, I got to get rid of that amino group so I can utilize the carbon skeleton. Okay, and then I got to get rid of that stuff. And the body doesn't have a way to store proteins, doesn't have a way to handle nitrogen. Got to cleave it off so I can utilize this whole thing. By cleaving that little amino group off, now I got to deal with it. Now I got to get rid of it because high levels of it can not be good. And we'll look at that as we start going on here, as we get further on. So here are the 20 different amino acids. Now, do I get into it? I can't remember. No, I don't think so. Good. These are the two major groups, 1 and 2. Okay. There are some that are conditionally essential. All right, but let me explain what these two things are first. Not essential. All it means is that the body can make. These are amino acids that the body can synthesize itself. They're non-essential, which means I do not need to find them in my diet. The body can make. The essential amino acids essentially mean I have to essentially go out and find them. The body cannot make. So these are the ones that you have to get in your diet. Non-diet, diet. Essential, you have to essentially go out and get them. Right? Those are the aminos that I'm going to make you know. In times of disease, in times of illness, you're sick, in times of high amount of stress, Some amino acids that are normally non-essential can become essential. Or if you neglect a certain essential amino acid, it won't form a non-essential amino acid, and then it becomes essential. Oy vey. So I'm not getting into the conditionally essential ones, okay? Because there's a handful of them. I just want you to focus on non-essential and essential. Be able to define them. Obviously, a multiple choice type question. See, I listed them here. I'm not even going to ask you what is a conditionally essential amino acid, okay? But there's your grins and giggles, okay? Impress somebody at a party. I want you to know the essentials. Why the hell did I write that? You're probably thinking. This is a mnemonic. Private Tim Hill. Phenylalanine, valine, tryptophan, threonine, isoleucine, methionine, histidine, leucine, lysine. Bang biscuit, easy peasy. Private Tim Hill. Phenylalanine, valine, threonine, tryptophan, isoleucine, methionine, histidine, leucine, lysine. There you go. Those are your essential amino acids. If you've had a piece of meat, you've gotten them all. If you've had tofu, you've gotten them all. Okay? If you're a vegetarian, now, if you're not eating tofu, now you're going to be malnutrient. Okay? And we'll discuss that as we kind of go along a little bit deeper here. But these are the ones, these are the ones here that you have to go essentially look for. These are the ones you need in your diet. These are the ones that you need in your diet.